It's really so great to be back on Times of Refreshing, everyone. Honestly, I missed everyone, and I want to say thank you for those who checked on me, and I want to say thank you for those who are back to watch our broadcast. Welcome back to Times of Refreshing. My name is Toyin, and if you are new here, you are very welcome. Here we talk about our calling, we talk about our challenges, and we also talk about our joy as pastor's wife. And honestly, I must say that even though this broadcast seems to be for pastor's wives, anyone that watches this would actually really glean a lot from it. So last time on Times of Refreshing, I asked a question. Should a pastor's wife or a pastor who is being abused take to social media to talk about what they are going through? Today we are back to talk about it. And honestly, some of us who will remember one of my broadcasts about abuse also happens to pastors. Abuse, like you see, is an equal opportunity. It could be the man abusing the woman or the woman abusing the wife. Whichever way, abuse is not okay. But today, I really want to zero in on if a pastor's wife should take the abuse she's going through to social media. Now, don't be quick to judge because you are not in that person's shoe. We just want to exchange opinions to look at the best way to approach this so that at least we can better understand what some people go through and maybe the best way to go about it. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Now that you're back, like I said before we went on the break, we're going to be talking about if a pastor's wife or even a pastor should take their abusive situation even to social media. Honestly, this is one of those conversations that actually sits heavy on the earth. What does a pastor's wife do when she's hurting deeply, but everyone expects her to smile and stay strong? Some pastor's wives will choose silence. Others will wonder, should I go on social media and talk about what I've been going through? And some actually take to social media. It's not an easy question at all. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. But let's talk about this today with compassion and honestly. The first thing to think is that acknowledging the reality is very important because abuse is real and it happens even in the ministry, even in minister's home. Abuse can be emotional, it can be physical, it can be verbal or spiritual. Sometimes it hides behind the perfect Sunday smile or the first lady title. But no role, mark my word, no church, no calling justify mistreatment at all in any way. You're a person first and foremost, a woman with a soul, with worth, with right to peace and safety. And you must really, really know that. And, many pastors' wives always feel trapped in what I call the ministry bubble. Yes, you are expected to keep up appearances, protect the image of the church, of your husband, and not bring shame to the church. But inside, you may be crying for help, and no one seems to hear you. So when social media becomes the only place you can be heard, it's understandable to want to speak out. Sometimes it feels like the only place left to breathe, even after talking to people and they've done nothing about it. Speaking or staying silent is a crossroad that many pastors' wives fails. But here's where wisdom and timing actually comes in. Social media can be a powerful tool. It can raise awareness, bring accountability. It can give you support, but it also opens wounds, attract criticism, and make a very painful situation even harder to manage. That's why it isn't about whether it's right or wrong. It's about whether it's safe and helpful for you right now as a pastor's wife going through abuse. So maybe before we go to social media or public places, we can pause and gently ask ourselves, am I safe right now because your safety matters? Do I have trusted people or professionals supporting me? Because that's also important. What outcome do I hope for? Do I hope for healing, awareness, accountability, and or escape? Am I socially capable of handling public opinion? These are not going to silence you, They are just to protect your heart. He's not saying that you should not do it, but to protect your heart. So you must choose safety and healing first. Because if you are in danger, your first step isn't to go to social media, but to get to safety. Reach out to trusted friends, counselor, a domestic or violence help awareness help. Think about yourself. Healing starts with protection. You need to think about your safety. Find your voice, your way. Sharing your story can be powerful, but it doesn't have to start online. Sometimes your healing begins in private conversation, in therapy sessions, or quiet moments of prayers. So that when you're ready, you can tell your story from a place of strength, not survivor. And when you do, it can help so many others who are quietly walking the same road. I do believe that every responsible pastor's wife must have sought counseling, intervention from different people, especially those we look up to or you look up to as your spiritual mentors, your spiritual leaders. And I want to use this opportunity to talk to those who we look up to as spiritual leaders that please, it is not enough to tell an abused person to keep managing that relationship. It is better to call both parties and talk to them to see if they can both get help and then come back together. Because at the end of the day, when there's nothing done and the person is abused over and over and over again, then the person at times, most times, some people do not have any choice than to take to social media. Would I do it? I greatly doubt it. But like I said, we are not in anybody's shoes, so we cannot judge anybody who has gone to social media to bring their matter out there. Maybe it's their own way to cry for help. It's their own way for healing also and being able to tell their story. So I believe as a community, it's our duty to help the abused and the abuser. The abuser might need some help to point them to the right direction where they can get those help. And to also help the abused so that the abused would not be feeling less than they are or suffering in silence or going to depression, get hurt, or at the end of the day, lose their life. Because we know that when there's no other place to go to, that's when people take to social media. So should a pastor's wife take to social media to talk about the abuse? There's no easy answer for this. Every story, every situation, every woman is different. But one thing remains the same. You deserve to be heard and you deserve to be safe. And that is very important. Whether you whisper it to a counselor or share it to the world, your voice matters. And healing does not start online. It actually starts when you decide you're worthy of peace. So I wanted to go ahead and add your comments. It's a very sensitive matter. And once again, I want to ask you to please respect people and not criticize people. We just want to share opinions here so that those in those situations can glean one or two things to do or probably be able to do things differently. Until next time on Times of Refreshing, I'm your host, Toyin Akanle. It's been a wonderful time once again to be with you. Have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.